Hello everybody, welcome to Talkback Fridays. Oh my gosh, what a big week. Whew. I'm glad it's Friday and I'm glad it's the weekend tomorrow. Tonight, let's get straight to it. We've got a guest called Markus Schobel, okay? He's, well, you're going to hear all about his company called Disti. Is that right, Michelle? Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how you going?
Good. Welcome. Okay. Go like this. Here you go. I see you now. Yay.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about Markus? We're just pulling this show together tonight. So, yeah. Tell us about Markus.
Yeah, so Markus and I, we worked together a few years ago. So I used to supervise a gym called Bodysuit in Grafton. And so he was one of the personal trainers and instructors at my gym. And I thought it would be awesome for me to obviously expose his brand over in Australia and just have a bit of a catch up in New Zealand.
Okay, babe, can you turn up your volume a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, how's your week been?
It's been good. It's been super busy. I've been getting ready to go to Australia for a brand called Immersive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so obviously after that interview with Jerome, so
yes, in the beginning,
we're both going over to Australia on Monday, so I've just been prepping for that. So it's been fun as well as extremely tedious with all the different strategies that you can do to travel overseas now. So yeah.
Oh, that'll be nice to cross the ditch. Yeah.
I'm excited to have a holiday. Work and play.
For sure. You know, I've met so many people just, you know, even being stuck here in New Zealand, which, hey, that's fine. But just met so many people doing this show. And even last night, it was an honor to meet a couple who run a studio called Studio 38. And we had a little dinner there. It was a little networking dinner. So, yeah, I've got a few more guests lined up. Yeah, really fun. Very uplifting and inspiring. Okay, so, any other news you want to share before we jump into the interview?
Not quite. I'm just excited to catch up with Markus and kind of just go over what he's doing and, yeah, have a bit of a cordial and a catch up as well.
Oh, sweet as. Okay, nice to see you. See you soon.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. It looks super bright over in Aussie.
Yeah. It's still 7 p.m. over here now, and also my place kind of sees like the sunrise, so it's kind of nice. So we'll be like at least another hour.
Oh, wicked! Thank you for coming on the show tonight. It was a bit last minute. Love those ones.
No, it's all good. I mean, it kind of shows my social calendar right now. No, it's always nice to come on, have a chat, have a discussion, right?
Oh, wicked. No, I'm so excited to have a bit of a catch up about your business and obviously just catch up with you in general, because obviously I'm over in Aussie on Monday for a week at blockchain week, so it pretty much ties up. So I'll be over there seeing you as well, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to come to Aussie. It's a lot more fun over here right now. Like New Zealand will experience it soon as well. Like once you get over the hub of coronavirus and then everyone starts to come out a lot more, it's just a fun time. So you really enjoy yourself when you come here.
I'm excited. We're going to Sydney first, and then we're coming to Melbourne. So best believe I'll be flicking you a few messages to catch up.
You're saving the best for last, to be honest. Like, you know, start Sydney and end up in Melbourne because it's a lot more fun over here.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Basically, Markus, I just want to catch up with you a bit about Disti and just kind of what you're doing over there. And to be honest, it's going to be a learning curve for me as well because I don't know too much about gin.
Yeah, I mean, it's less about gin and more about the world of distillation, more than anything.
Cool.
So, I mean, like a little bit of background about myself. Obviously, we met each other in Auckland. I flew over to Melbourne about 5-6 years ago and been on a little bit of journey and just meeting new people and just I don't know what it is, you know, just life just kind of falls on for you type of situation. So I met a friend of mine, oddly enough, we were working next to each other in the city, and somehow we were in the same football team. I don't know how that happened, and so we just became good friends. And then COVID happened. So then COVID happened, as you can imagine, there was nothing for us to do, especially in Melbourne at that period of time. At that time, yeah, that was not a fun time. I mean, there was people on the streets, there's armies in the streets, and you're out for an hour at a time. You don't have a mask, there's an instant fine. It was just that intense period. So we wanted to do something that will keep our minds busy, keep us occupied, and also be productive in the same way, and try to change like a negative situation into a positive, and try and work on that. So our passion starts for love of actually whiskey, to be honest.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of starts
with
like
drink. That's
that?
what you drink.
No, there's a bit of a story behind it. That's why, because like it's originally our friendship started from whiskey. We always used to catch up and have a whiskey and just drink different wines and taste it and start try to understand the different flavors that's involved with these different whiskeys. Like you can go more expensive ones, you got cheaper ones. You can see that, and we start learning. And then during COVID, we're like, let's try to start doing some gifts. Some cool whiskey gifts. We're both in the corporate world. I'm in tech, he's a lawyer. So we're like, let's try to create some cool little whiskey gifts with like glasses and these little things. And we can start that as like a casual business and start on the side. And then pretty much what happened is we started researching and learning about these whiskey distilleries. We noticed it wasn't too much. And then what caught our eye was gin distilleries and what the unique and like intricate stories behind them and each and every person, because each gin distillery has, I can't explain it, they just have this energy, this passion for what they do. And each one of them has such a beautiful, unique story as well. So we started learning about the industry, started learning about who they are, and we just thought like, why does no one else talk about that? Like, why is it so like, why do we talk about all these large brands over here, but we don't really talk about these success stories or these little mom and pop shops or these major distilleries? They're trying to do something special and their gin actually tastes delicious. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to try and educate people about what they are and who they are. And then it kind of just started from there and started rolling. And the next thing you know, we've created an online e-commerce brand. And then we had a membership. Now we just have a full over marketplace itself. We're going to develop it into a multi-vendor marketplace, try to get a lot more sellers and resellers on there too. And it's just, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just, things just happen. And then it's been just a fun journey all this ever since.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because obviously with business, it is very much people to people, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so for me, obviously, like when I was supervising the gym and obviously you were working at the gym, I always knew that was one of your strong skill points. So for me, I was just like, I know that this will take off and I know you'll do super well. Yeah, so like basically, obviously I know Disti is an umbrella brand for gin distilleries around Australia at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of the ones that caught my eye was actually Patient Vault. So did you want to kind of explain to me, like, how difficult was it for you to onboard businesses to obviously want to collaborate with the business?
Well, the thing is that we created a business in COVID, right? So we couldn't actually go and talk to any of these business owners or anyway. So we couldn't go meet and agree with them. So because I come from a sales background, at least I can utilize those skills coming onto this. So we had to create proposals, do some pitches. We had to do the cost-led models, negotiate the rates as well. And we had a date that we wanted to launch it. So it was difficult in a way because we had to learn about each one of these brands, reach out to them. We have no backing. We have no, history.
Really?
Like no history, no backing, no nothing. And people are just, why would they want to join on two blokes who just have a passion and dream for something they want to try to create, right? So we're doing this all to back ourselves. So we had to convince these brands that allow us to explain your brand story and allow us to also, push it across and do it in a way that we want to. So it was very difficult. And the thing is though, gin distilleries, each one of the owners know each other. So it's a network.
Is it quite a small net kind of community?
Yes.
It is. It always is.
Yeah, there's 50 of them, right? And each one of them have gone through like pretty much hell to create a distillery. So then they all trust and love each other. So what is quite funny is that we've had meetings and discussions. We did our proposals, sent our pitches across, and then we found out in the back end that the distilleries are talking about us to each other. And so
That's
then they all
came, right?
Yeah, and then they all came to like a communal decision. They're like, come join with us.
Cool. And so, like, obviously, like I said, I thought you were a whiskey drinker, and obviously now you're into gin. So, like, what would be your go-to gin now?
It's a difficult one itself, because the thing is that people don't realize this. Gin is for every situation, every time that, like, it's every one of them has different flavors. So on our webpage, is one thing we wanted to do is we wanted to try to showcase and educate people that it is different. So for example, we got grape-based flavors, we got hop-based flavors, we've also got other flavors as well. But the thing that really catches my eye is the sweet and the cherry. It's this, I can't explain it, but it's this bottle. It's a 700 ml bottle. It's about 37%. And what it is, it's made of 300 grams of Tasmanian cherries. And so the owner of the distillery, she's a microbiologist by trade. And so she studies plants, she studies biology of them. And so and thanks to her backing, she knew and realized that, like, the skin of the cherries and soaking in the cherries provides this sweetness that's like another. You drink this gin, you can pretty much just drink it straight and on its own, and you wouldn't believe that it's just straight alcohol, like straight alcohol.
Yeah. What's that brand called?
Anther Distillery in Geelong. It's a beautiful brand. Like, what they try to do is they try to use Australia in every way possible for their ingredients. So they go to, like, local farms. They try to source everything locally. Every one of their drinks has, I think, about 20 plus different little botanicals they source around Australia and along the coast and along the bush, and they try to educate that with their gins. So what they're trying to do is that when you're drinking that, they want to take you down a journey down Australia. So, like, and once you start to learn about these little histories, intricacies of why these people are making this, you kind of start to want to, you want to support them. You want to help them out. I have this other distillery we work with, this Little Long Distilling Co. It's such a quirky little distillery. So it's based in the city. It's a little cottage, and it's about, how do I explain it? Like, it was probably about the size, smaller than the size of Bodytech's entrance.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it's like it's like tiny, like absolutely small, but it's a cottage based in the 1800s. And so he's called it Little Long Distilling Co. But, like, the funny thing is that there was, like, a person that used to live there in the 1800s. Her name is Yokohama. So this is actually a true story. Her name is Yokohama, and so she used to be a lady of the night. And so that room where she used to do her work is now where they distill alcohol. And so their flagship gin is called Little Miss Yoko. So that everywhere they can, they try to elaborate and talk about her story and talk about different little characters that were back in the 1800s. Their London Dry Gin is based on this guy called Constable Proudfoot. So he was actually an officer based in 1800s who used to help out Little Miss Yoko. So then, like, these little cool, intricate things that you start to find out about these brands are like, you don't realize that when you're drinking just a large, big brand, you think it's just alcohol. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to take you down a journey. And we thought, we need to educate and tell people about this.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, it must be so interesting for you to be able to, I guess, kind of advertise people's stories.
Yeah.
Through alcohol. It's like a journey, like you're explaining.
Yeah.
Like, what are, other than that one, what other brands kind of stood out to you when it came to exploring their journey and, related to taste and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, what it is, they kind of took us in, because not many other people have done what we've done. Like, we've come to them wanting to elaborate and help their brand. So the other ones we work with, like, for example, you said Patient Wolf, they're elegance personified. They're based in South Melbourne market. They use all the natural ingredients of the South Melbourne market itself. So when you can come, you can kind of see it. It's like about a 5-minute walk down there, and it's just like a farmer's market, and they try to utilize that. Then they also, once again, they try to do as many local ingredients as possible. And when you go into the distillery, it's based in the city. It's an experience like no other. The head of hospitality, Blake, he's one of the nicest people and the most down-to-earth humans in the world. And when you go in that place, you feel like you're the only person there. And they try to take you on a journey, and they try to educate you. And it's just, you can't explain the intrinsic feelings that you receive by trying to support these people. And then we've got a couple other brands as well. So we've got Bass and Flinders Distillery. So they're based down in Sorrento. So Sorrento is a coast down Melbourne. It's about 40 minute drive away from us. It's a second generation distillery. So what it was is Holly is taken over from her father, and he's passed down the knowledge and the experience like for her. And so her gin's fabulous because it's made from a grape-based gin. So it's actually made from kind of the same process you make wine. So the same alcohol you use that, they process that into their gin. And so because she's down on the coast, they use all the coastal ingredients. One of their gins is they call it maritime gin. And it's like what they did, they actually get saltbush, kelp, and a few other ingredients literally from the coast, and they pop that into the gin when they actually create it. And it's just pretty cool. Like you just learn about these little things, and they're always trying to support Australia. And then the last we have is Infusions. They're actually a they're a non-alcoholic brand itself. So they try to utilize the same flavor combination that we get with a gin, but in a non-alcoholic spirit. And it's kind of cool because what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a totally different idea, but they're trying to help out people. So for example, maybe you have your baby shower, right? And you want to go to a bar or somewhere cool. Like you can go to the distillery, it's a non-alcoholic distillery. You can have cool, fun mocktails, enjoy yourself, and then while your friends can also have a couple of cocktails as well. But at least it's trying to open up for other people that not necessarily want to drink.
That's what I was kind of saying. Like, I guess, like, obviously, if you related it to New Zealand and Auckland, obviously you'd go to Waiheke to go do like a vineyard or tasting. Whereas when it comes to other alcohols, say whiskey, gin, I feel like there is no market like that in New Zealand right now, right?
There is a few distilleries in there in New Zealand. There's not that much. Yeah, there is a couple. If you actually do a little bit of research, you can kind of see it. There's a couple floating about. And I mean, like, there's different elements too. You also have like a large brewery network over there as well. So there's obviously the larger brands, but you're right. It's not the same that it is over here. And in Australia, I think it was a boom starting pretty much from 2018. There was a couple that started, I think, but back in Auckland started, 10 years ago? And then from 2018, more and more distilleries here are going to come and actually expand. But the problem is, though, it's extremely difficult for them to start. So to at least get a license to start a distillery, you kind of need to do about 18 months worth of work before you can actually start distilling anything. And you have to get a building. You also then have to fit the still into there as well. You have to do making sure that it's all safe, and then if you want to have people on board, come in and also drink the distillery too. You have to abide by the alcohol laws. And then on top of that, alcohol tax in Australia for spirit is pretty much the highest in the world. I think it's $83 for a pure litre of spirit in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, so if you equivalent to a 700ml bottle of alcohol, it's roughly $35 to $38 of excise tax before it even leaves the distillery, and then there's tax on top of that. So that's why spirit rates in Australia are so high, and yet like the cost of New Zealand is good. That's why everyone goes to duty free and just claims all the alcohol. So then, like, you imagine these brands are. Sorry?
It's getting super pricey at that point.
Exactly. So then these brands, these companies, they've had to do 2 years of, getting a lot of work. You have to get 2 years of funding. On top of that, you then got to go start distilling, do your marketing, do all your branding. You're then going to compete against all these other distilleries across in the network as well and try to get your brand across. And on top of that, you've also got the large supermarkets, the large retailers. Like a Super Liquor over there, but we got Dan Murphy's over here. And so what that is, then you've got all these international brands you're competing against. You've got Tanqueray, you've got your Gordon's, you've got your other brands too. But because they come over here, they don't have to have a margin or a markup or any, it doesn't really matter because all for them is all about volume. It's all about amounts. So then they can reduce their costs as low as possible, kick everyone out of the market, and then try dominate. So it's very difficult for them to get up and actually make profit from it.
Speaking of that, because obviously you said that you worked with how many? 50 brands? 50 gin brands?
No. So we work at 6 right now.
In Australia?
In Victoria, there's over 50. So that's just the state. There's also South Australia has quite a few. New South Wales has quite a few as well. Queensland is popping up. So there's a huge market here for it.
So obviously when I come to Melbourne, which one are you taking me to?
Well, you want to go Patient Wolf. So that's in the city. We'll go Patient Wolf. That's like, we'll get Blake to have make us have a
cool, because for me, like, I absolutely love the branding. Like, I think the building looks incredible. But when it comes to quality,
Yeah.
I shouldn't put you in this position to be like, which one's your favourite? But which one is your favourite? You didn't answer me.
It's hard to say though, because it's all about different times. Like,
Yeah.
because like you're right, Patient Wolf is unbelievable. Their marketing is amazing. Like when you walk in there, it's a New York loft. That's the design flow. And what they've done is they used the paint of the blue, the walls is actually juniper blue. So they've done all like that, and it's just elegant, personified, and it feels like New York. But their gin is unbelievable. Their Melbourne Dry is smooth. It's beautiful. It's nice to have with cocktail and drinks. But then I don't know. It's like choosing who's your favorite child. It's like a hard one, because then like Bass and Flinders got that beautiful grape based, and and they've got a beautiful grape based flavored gin, and then we've got Anther's got that silky history, because Anther, Derb is the owner. Her partner is Seb, and they kind of call him the cocktail guru or the cocktail godfather of Melbourne. So he's created these large gin bars, Gin Palace, and a few other ones there too. So then he designed his gins for cocktails. So it's made and make so smoothly. So it's hard to say, because each one of them have different flavors, different methods of craft, different base spirits, and you can have them at different times. So
that's the whole thing, because I feel like I honestly don't drink gin. So I feel like obviously you're the connoisseur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you to obviously take me through that journey when it comes to everything from story based. Because I feel like gin is known as like cares and deep and meaningfuls.
No, you're right. It's
Totally.
it's different in New Zealand, and over here it's kind of a cult following, kind of like a weird thing. But like the reason is because, like I said, right, you got different base spirits. So when you start to distill gin, you have juniper berries. So juniper berries is one of the highest antioxidants berries too. So maybe it's good for your skin. I don't know. But like you got that, and you added the base spirit with that, and you pretty much heat that to a certain level, and then that goes into, like, most of them have a vapor cart or vapor catcher, and that's where you have ingredients, and that's where you can put the different flavor of fruits and berries and the different combinations you can create. So you can never have two gins the same.
Yeah.
So then, like, it's when you're going the difference in that and other alcohols is that you can always go and try to taste different flavors. Is it cardamom here? Is this more of a woody gin? Is this more the back of the tongue? Is this the front of the tongue? Is there more herbs in here? Is it more of a citrus style flavor? Like, and then that's why people like it, because you can go taste different flavors and you can try to do your own notes about it too.
No, I'm super excited. I'm just excited to come and see you in general in Melbourne as well. So.
Well, Melbourne's a fun time. Melbourne's a great time. Like, everybody has to come to this place, because it's creativity and art. Like, I can't explain the energy of this place. Like, people are just so amazing. You can just walk down the road, and every single person tells me this. Whenever they walk down the road, the street, they just feel safe and secure. Like, they don't feel at harm. They don't feel problem. Even when people walk,
they feel like a local, almost.
Yeah, and everyone's just like so nice and welcoming and just puts your arm over you. And it's just, I don't know. I think that's deeper into this industry too. But yeah.
Well, they say that Melbourne's quite similar to Wellington, eh? And they say that Sydney's quite similar to Auckland when it comes to culture.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. So Melbourne is a bit on Wellington and Roy's. Like, now you got that real cool, Wellington's got the real cool creative art like vibe about it, and people don't really care as much what they dress and what they wear, because they're just trying to show they're like who they are and what they are.
Yeah.
And you get that a lot here. Like, you get that with people that just, I see some of the most interesting and fascinating ways of people wearing and what they wear, and they just don't care, because no one cares. It doesn't matter. As long as you treat yourself, that's all they care about. Is like, as long as you treat yourself, you're happy. No one will even look down upon you or say anything about you.
But that's how we should live anyway. Well, that's how I live, clearly. Hey.
Look, that's you and I. That's what we say. Yeah. But like, like some people just are not like that. Like, it's a bit different. But I don't know. I just can't explain it. I love this place.
But I think that's what obviously sounds cool about Melbourne, is it's almost embraced to be yourself.
Wait to try the food. Wait to try the food.
I have been to Melbourne. It's stunning. It's probably my favorite place in Australia. That's why I'm excited to come back.
Yeah, for sure. And it's actually cool that you can come over now.
I know.
And you don't have to quarantine or do any of that type of stuff. Like, it's good
I
to
had
go.
to do a saliva test. I had to fill out like a passenger form with all the details. What else did I have to do? I proper, obviously, like vaccination pass, but it's not too much drama.
have you flown like much since it?
No, I honestly haven't flown much. Like, this is going to be my first international trip, and you know how much I love to travel, so.
It's a weird feeling. It's
Yeah.
a weird feeling being on planes again. Like, I've done it quite a few times. I just obviously flew back from Sydney on the weekend, and I've flown a few, but it's just such a weird feeling being on a plane again after like so many years.
I think it's almost because I know that I've got like family and friends over there, so I'm just like, it's another little home.
So you got that excitement, that like holiday excitement coming over, and you kind of sweet. You know?
It's like 50-50 pleasure and business, you know? So I'm like, woohoo, let's go.
Yeah,
I guess the other thing is like obviously with Melbourne being comfortable and obviously embracing who you are, do you think that kind of helped you start up Disti?
Yeah, correct. Because like because there's no hesitations. Like, what if I fail? Like, what if I fail? What if I do something wrong? This place has told me, who really cares? Like, generally, who cares about what you do? The place is so big, it's so massive. Why does it matter? Just do it. Like, take a risk, take an opportunity. And if you fail, you fail. At least you can say you learned something from it. And that's like, I think like I've learned a lot of that type of stuff from Melbourne, and that's why we've actually embraced it into that too. And it allows us to be creative as well.
That's cool, because I guess obviously if it's quite, well, it's not saturated, but like what would be your point of difference when it comes to Disti? And is there anything else like your like Disti around in Australia?
Not really itself. I mean, you can go to the large brands, the large retailers, and then obviously they're going to take a margin in the markup. And I wouldn't talk down upon them because they do well. Like, they help the brands, they help them out. Our main point of difference is we're just trying to educate and trying to show. Like, we've created some stunning videos by a brilliant director called Julian Watson, 720 Films. And he's helped us create 6 different films about who they are and what they are. And we're truly trying to educate their story. And our success is to back on their success. So that's why we want to be that. And not only that, is that every single bottle you buy from us is packed directly from the distillery. Cool. So then, so they pack it, they distribute it, and they do everything on our behalf. But it comes directly from them, and all with love. So
no, that's why I wanted to make sure that we included one of those promo videos, because I absolutely love what he's done with your work.
Yeah,
it's so good.
He's a creative genius. Him and I butted heads a few times because we're both creative people, but the work he has done is first class. I talk about him to everyone because it really does paint a picture of who they are and what they are, you know? And like, look, it was a lot of capital initially to try and get someone like that to do this, but then it just shows what we're trying to achieve. We're not talking about money, not trying to do sales, we're not trying to generate, obviously that's an end goal, but we wanted to try to educate, we wanted to try to teach, and we're trying to make people, you know, learn about this industry that no one knows about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, look, Trevor. Hi, Trevor. Nice
to
meet you.
I saw that in the background. I was wondering what that was. I saw like a random tail. I was like, should I say this? But no.
Yeah, so sweet. I kind of guess, what's another thing I kind of want to ask? Like, where do you see Disti going?
So Disti's going to be I want Disti to be a brand of the culture, right? I want people to kind of know who we are, what we are. So we're going to do a couple things moving forward. So first thing we're doing right now is Disti sessions. So we're going to have little pop-up sessions at different bars. So once a month, you can come to a random bar within Melbourne. You'll be able to do tasting flights. You'll be able to, you know, try the gins out too. And then the bar, we're also going to get them to do creative, cool cocktails based on that gin or whatever it is. And then we're going to do that every month. So we're going to try to grow that to try to become more fun and let people actually taste and enjoy it. On top of that, we ideally want to start opening our own shops soon, some bricks and mortars as well. So little pop-ups. Yeah. And then that'll be it. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that'll be fun for us to just open a bar and have like a little like quirky cocktail bar that people can come and trial and taste it out too.
Like a little pub.
Yeah, but then like you can, because a lot of places around here, what they do is they have bars that also have liquor stores in them. So then you can come, you can have like drink at the liquor store, you know what I mean? And you can taste it. So I kind of want that experience, but in a cocktail bar in a way. So then they can come, they can try to taste it. You can give them a little bit of tasting flights, and then also get them to have a few cocktails and take a bottle on their way home. Hopefully not, you know, too intoxicated or anything like that. You don't want any of that type of stuff. No. It's all about safe drinking, right? Safe drinking.
That was another thing I was going to hit you up about, because obviously, like, you're getting more well known in Australia. Are you going to bring it to New Zealand? Like, how do we support your brand? Where do we buy? Are you going to contribute to us, or?
Well, the thing is, though, like, I've started an online brand, an online business, right? And the issue is when you're working with alcohol, there's a lot of legislations. There's tax. There's licenses. There's a lot of things you have to do. Before we even started this brand, we had to get a liquor license. We had to license the brand, license the company. We had to learn about the local laws. And so for us to then go to another state itself, then we're going to have to learn about those local laws too. And then if we want to move towards New Zealand, that's another huge step with the laws as well. So we want to make sure that steady growth, first and foremost, start Victoria, move to New South Wales, get New South sorted, South Australia to Queensland, and then once we got that as a whole, look to go towards New Zealand, which hopefully 2.5 years, and then start distribution from there. But it'll probably be it'll probably be like a cool little New Zealand trend, but I also want to make it more Kiwi focused. I don't want to make it
bring it home.
Exactly, because everyone's got their own cool stuff, right? You can learn a lot from these people that you don't actually know. Like, you know this, when you go to a winery, right, and you actually talk to the people, the owners of the wineries, like, you look into their eyes and you see the passion they have for what they do, and they just want you to have this time and a great time. And I know the market's going to grow in New Zealand. I know it's going to get bigger, and I know it's going to be more and more popular too. So there's going to be people popping up there as well. So it'll be opportunity to leverage and help those brands as well.
Cool. We'll wrap it up here, Markus, but honestly, I'm so proud of you. I wanted to jump you on board tonight because obviously
Thank you.
what you're building is going to be huge, and I just wanted to show my support and obviously get a bit of exposure out there for you because I believe in you. And I guess I'll see you in a few days.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few days. It's a fun time over here. But thank you. I really do appreciate this. And thanks.
No worries. It's awesome. I think Selena's going to run a bit of a promo video at the end, obviously, to show the videography that you
This video itself is probably one of the most beautiful videos I've found. So you see on the left here is Derv. She talks about gin and what it means to her for Australia. And we shot this during COVID. And if you look into her eyes, she looks like she wants to cry because she loves Australia and gin. So
they're so passionate about it, eh?
Exactly. And that's just, and you can just see, like, they use the native and they just love it. So thank you so much, and I really do appreciate this.
No worries, Markus. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Selena.
Thanks, Selena.
Thanks, guys. This was such an interesting chat. Really awesome. So thank you for your time, Markus.
Thank you.
I'll be looking forward to finding out more about this. And all the very best for your evolving venture.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. We'll just watch the end of this video. Beautiful Australia. So Australia is the king of botanicals?
A little bit itself. So like this part we're seeing here is actually just in Geelong. So we shot this in Geelong. So it's kind of interesting because you had to actually leave Melbourne and go to Geelong. We needed to get COVID passes because there was officers at the borders and stuff like that. So it was large fines. So even just shooting these films was a mission in itself. But it's just, hey guys, showed beautiful Geelong. So
Quick question, Markus. How do you sign up to be a Disti member, and what does that involve?
So we've actually kind of changed the business a little bit from that. So we did originally have online memberships as a business, but then we started realizing we're not showcasing all the different brands. So now what we're trying to do is you can sign up into our webpage and we can receive all our marketing material. We can start to learn about our blogs and the videos of who they are. But the primary ways that we're doing our business now is through one-off sales on our webpage. So if you just jump onto our webpage, you'll see the 6 different brands we work with. It's Patient Wolf, Terra Australis, Brunswick Aces, Bass and Flinders, and Little One. And then if you look on the right-hand side, you can actually shop by your base variant. So if you want to, whatever flavor you want, you can kind of differentiate and kind of choose.
Cool. Thanks, Markus. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, team. Take care.
Thanks, Selena.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle. Oh, wow. Gosh, beautiful Australia takes me back. Oh, there goes Michelle. She's gone. Okay, so it's just me now. I just want to say special shout outs to my colleagues and comrades Thane Kirby and Benny Mac. Yeah, thanks for sticking with it. And we've got lots of treats in store for this show. So thank you for all of your support, and thank you to the new listeners. Thank you, Trevor. Oh, some lovely input there. And wish you guys a jolly good weekend, and take care out there. Love yous. Bye. Bye.